Hello, hello. Can everyone hear us?
I hope so.
I hope so. Oh my gosh, that would suck if no one can hear us.
I see the captions going, so it's looking
That's
like it's
good. That's good.
working.
As long as it's working, that'd be amazing. Cool. All right, let's wait a few more minutes for everyone. I feel like most people are on YouTube. Not sure. The
Yeah, I
the
can't tell
chatter
right
on
now.
Twitch is very quiet. Yay. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Yay. Uh, hi. Hello.
Hello, everyone.
But,
Hello. A lot of first timers here today on Twitch. For those
yeah.
of you viewing us on YouTube, Emily and Lunch is on there. So say hello to them.
Hmm.
YouTube's popping off.
Yes. Cool. All right, everyone. Now that we've started the stream, welcome, welcome. We are currently live streaming on both Twitch and YouTube. So half of our
Yeah.
team is currently inside in Twitch, and the other half is in YouTube right now. We do have closed captioning turned on both Twitch and on YouTube. And so let us know if there's any audio issues or any issues with the captioning. I will warn everyone the captioning is a little bit wonky. We have closed captioning available on OBS, but that's only live on Twitch. And then on YouTube, there is a closed captioning system that's separate from there. Cool. So with that, let's introduce ourselves. So we have a jam-packed stream today. We're going to be talking about a lot of things, but for now, let's start with introductions. So, hello, my name is Emily. We have two Emilys in the company right now, and I am one of them. I'm Lim in the Discord channel. I'm in charge of our marketing initiatives and I help with community support. And I kind of like switch back and forth on the streams with the other Emily. So, welcome. And we have a familiar face here. Sam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I think the last time I was here was a couple streams ago. So excited to be back. My name's Sam. I'm a live ops producer for Cell To Singularity. What that means is I work on events as a producer and also multiplayer features and some other like main simulation stuff. So kind of I work on a lot of things in the game, not beyond or no beyond though, specifically events and multiplayer. So yeah, excited to be here.
Awesome. And we actually have a new face here with us as well. You've actually heard of him during our Explore event Let's Plays. So, Andrew, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Andrew. I write for the events, and I've been here for about 9 months now. So I started with the music event, and we've been doing our little playthroughs during like on Discord. So now that we're here, now I'm here in person, and you can see my face for the first time. So there you go.
Face reveal.
Nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Cool. Awesome. I know there's some messages about. Hold on. So there's some messages here about like our volume. Can people hear us properly? I know there's some echoing going on. Unfortunately, it is a little bit hard because we need closed captioning to be on. So there's like strange setups happening. If people prefer that the audio is more important, then we can prioritize that over closed captioning. But if people prefer like closed captioning to be also present, like there might be some weird audio hiccups there. So just let me know in the chat if there's any issues. Cool. All right. Awesome. So with that, let's go. Let's talk about the next segment uh, into the stream. So first, we're going to talk about the leaderboard. So I think we've mentioned in the past, the Dev Diary and live stream that we are sunsetting research race. So yes, we are saying goodbye to it. So Sam, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So soon we're going to be pushing out a update into the main game, and we are unfortunately going to be saying goodbye to the research race. It ran for a bit. I think around like 6 months, maybe a bit longer, to a year. Maybe not a year, but yeah, we're sunsetting that feature, unfortunately. But it's making way for a new feature, which I think is pretty exciting. And if you guys are beta testers, which I'm sure some of you are if you like the game that much and you're on the live stream, you probably have been playing the new feature and you've noticed that the research race is being sunsetted. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think it's making way for something a little bit more exciting and something that a lot more people will enjoy.
Yeah. And so with that, we should talk about the new leaderboard system that we're bringing into the game. So right now we don't really have an official name for it yet. But what are we calling it for now, Sam?
So that's a great question. It doesn't have like as fancy of a name as Research Race. Right now, I've just been calling it the Event Leaderboard. Internally, we actually call it the Segmented Leaderboard, which I think works fine. Doesn't need a super flashy, fancy name. Maybe we'll give it one eventually, but I'm fine with the name of just like Event Leaderboard is what I've been calling it.
Okay, great. So what makes this system unique from the Research Race?
So, good question. So, as you can see up on the screen, the research race used to live in a menu on the bottom of your screen, or I guess on the left of your screen if you play in landscape mode. This new feature called the Event Leaderboard, what we're calling it right now, lives on the side of your screen as a little button. And how it works is 1,000 players will get put into a segment. That's why we also call it a segmented leaderboard. And these players will compete against each other to see who can get the most points, which we call the science points, and get to see who can get to the top of the leaderboard by the end of the event. So the leaderboard is constantly updating, constantly changing until the end of the event, where you will get the prize in the rank that you finished in during the event.
Gotcha. Wow. And then with the research race leaving us, there is going to be a little bit of like space in the UI, right? So will that be a concern for players, or what is replacing that?
Great question. So we talked about this a bit internally. We were trying to figure out if we were just going to remove the tab or if we were going to have something take its place. And due to the addition of player profile cards and the new player icons that we have in the Logit store and just front-facing the players, we wanted to keep that in there because it's something exciting. Like, I know me personally, I love having my own little card. I make it like green and brown and I add the little tetrapod 3D model in there, and it's like my favorite thing. So we didn't want to remove that. So what we are turning it into is actually it's going to turn into your Friends tab. Still in the works right now, so with the new update, the Friends tab will not be there, but ideally soon we will be throwing in the Friends tab. And what this would allow you to do is sort of see like where your friends' progress are in their event. Maybe we'll add some implementation of allowing you to join your friends' segmented leaderboard. It's kind of in the works still, so we're kind of feeling it out. But yeah, there's definitely going to be a friends tab. With the new update, you are still going to be able to see your player profile in that section, so you can that's still front facing to the players. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, it's going to become the friends list. Very excited for it.
Yeah, I can't wait. It would be really great, to have friends playing with me. Apart from that, we also updated the prizes. So a lot of our beta players have already taken a sneak peek of what some of the prizes look like and what some of the designs of the new event leaderboard looks like. But yeah, Sam, talk to us about it.
Yeah, so these are pretty exciting. During the research race, we were only giving away Logits, and that's pretty nice because, I mean, everyone loves the Logit store, I think. But now we have kind of transformed the prizes into this new these new tiers. So I think right now we're only looking at the top 3 places, but the lower down you go, the less prizes you will earn, obviously. So I think like 500 players and down will get around like 15 Logits. But as you can see, as you get up here, you actually get a lot of prizes from a lot of different parts of the game. So you can get mutagen and dark matter, as you can see on the right there, the 5,000 for the first place. Those are for Mesozoic Valley and beyond. And then you can get your Logits. You'll still be able to get those. First place gets 250 Logits, which is pretty big. And then you can also get diamond geodes and normal geodes from Mesozoic Valley, and you can also get the stars that you get in the Beyond, the little loot box stars. And yeah, you will be able to get those prizes when the event ends and you get sent back to the main simulation. You will see a little pop-up on the top right of your screen that allows you to claim the prize. That you had earned from playing the event. So it's pretty exciting. I think it looks really awesome, and I'm excited that players will be able to play this, and then they could maybe pop into the Beyond, and then they could get their stars that they earned, and maybe get a little bit farther in the Beyond. So yeah, pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, yeah. And then other than that, we a lot of players have actually requested this. We've been looking at the chat, and we've also been looking at some of in other places. Uh, People have been wondering how exactly do you earn these points that accumulate in order to get the placements that you see in the prize table. So right now, you get one science point per node, and then you get 5 per generators, and you can gain between 1 to 15 for every quantum charge that's activated. So all of these together, as you play the event, will accumulate, and then the accumulation of those points will get you one of those prizes in the prize table.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, we've messed around with the numbers a bit. We feel like these are a pretty good spot to start, but they're always subject to change, and maybe we'll add some other ways to get science points too in the future. You'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. And don't worry for everyone, we're going to put it in an FAQ somewhere, either on the wiki or maybe inside the game, so that people will know exactly how many points you can gain in order to rank up. And so, yeah, you could min max and try to find a way to win the prizes if you'd like. Cool.
Yeah, this is an insider scoop. Only you
Yeah.
guys are getting this. It's not said in the game right now. So take this and spread it to your friends who are looking forward to the segmented leaderboard.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Cool. And another thing I want to talk about is the subject of cheaters. I know we've got a lot of complaints regarding it. It was one of the things that we were concerned about with research race. And so now that research race is going away, we want to make sure that with this new event leaderboard, we avoid the issue of cheaters. So, Sam, do you want to talk about a little bit of what we've done to kind of like mitigate that?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So with the research race, we got a lot of concerns from players that they were seeing cheaters. We obviously don't want that. We want everyone to have an enjoyable time and for it to be fair. So with the sunset of the research race, that system that worked for the multiplayer behind the research race is now completely gone. And we created a new system from the ground up that has a lot of the concerns and issues that players were talking about addressed, and a lot more anti-cheat in it, so that ideally we will not be seeing those cheaters anymore in the segmented leaderboard. So we really wanted to make sure the players didn't have that disturbance in their games anymore. So we made a big effort to make sure that didn't happen.
Yeah, yay. So we're really looking forward to see what our brother public will think of this new event leaderboard. And for our beta testers, we hope you enjoy this new leaderboard as we release it out to public sometime next week, right, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, ideally we're pushing out this build at the end of the day, and we'll hope to get it to some players next week. You'll see it funneling into your games, and then it'll be ready. So I'm excited.
Awesome, cool. All right, with that, I forgot to mention this in the beginning of the stream, but we actually have a new format for this stream. Actually, we did a very similar format when we were doing the December live stream last year. So in this stream, we're actually releasing 2 Darwinium codes, 15 each, 15 each for Darwinium. And the first one is actually right now. So can anyone guess what the first Darwinium code is?
It's a great question. It
I
has to do with
know.
something we just talked about,
I know, right?
and I might have came up with the name, so I think it's kind of funny.
I know. Cool. Any guesses from the chat?
I'm watching the
Well,
chat right now.
science leaderboard.
I'm trying to look at it. I don't have it up.
I know, right? Cool. So The next Darwinium code is cheater suck.
Cheater suck.
I know. Yay, GG, yes. And with that, with our first Darwinium code, we're actually going into Q&A. So similar to the last December live stream, whenever we had the two whenever we had the Darwinium codes come in, we also had a section for Q&A. So in this format, we'll also be doing the same way. So for anyone in the chat, if you have any questions, especially regarding Event Leaderboard, you can bring it up now.
I finally got the chat up so I can see if anyone has any questions.
I know, right? Same here. I'm doing it as well.
Cheater sucks. Will there be any other things which increase points? That's a great question. Who is this? Geometry Dasher. Dashing is real. I gotta agree with that. So it's a great question. Right now, the three things that you saw, so the golden boosts, the nodes, and the generators are the only way that you'll be able to get points right now. But we are still open for the future to maybe add some other ways to get points. They do have to be event centric though. So you couldn't unfortunately get events. I mean, not events. You couldn't get points from stuff you do in the main simulation. It has to all be in the events. But I don't know. Maybe we'll add some extra little features into the events to give you some more of those science points.
Yeah. We also have a question on YouTube by Riley. Will you ever add a way to get a permanent 4x boost by paying something like $20?
It's a great question.
It's a monetization question.
we may or not be addressing that towards the end of the stream. So, I mean, my answer to that would be just stay tuned, and I guarantee you that question will be answered towards the end of the stream.
Awesome.
I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah. We got a question by Retek Sawa. I got over 1,000 logics and nothing to spend it on. Are we going to add more sinks in the future?
Some more ways to purchase stuff with cubes.
Yeah.
Is what they're asking.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's the plan. I mean, we don't want to make it too annoying to do anything in the game where you just have to constantly pay cubes, but yeah, if you have a lot of cubes, you should be able to purchase them.
And
I mean, you can right now.
Yeah.
You can use them in the events once this new multiplayer feature comes out to try to get a little bit of a competitive advantage against the people in your event leaderboard. So maybe you could use some of them there, or you could just keep saving them up, and maybe there'll be a crazy huge purchase for cubes in the future. Who knows?
Who knows?
Whatever you prefer.
Someone says, please don't monetize.
Yeah, and they're saying not pay to win. That people seem a bit worried about the idea of pay to win. Like, but you know.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a big concern when we are adding features like what we might be talking about later. I don't want to spoil too much, but we are always trying to make sure that the game is not very pay to win. It shouldn't be pay to win. You should have to have skill, obviously, to get farther than just paying. So that is something that the devs always keep in mind when creating these features for the game.
Yeah. And we also do want to address some of the requests by other players. Some players want to be able to breeze through content, or maybe have an additional boost to the content they're also enjoying. So while yes, if we may introduce new monetization items into the game, they are completely optional, right? So for those players who want to have that added experience, that is available to them, and for those that prefer to have somewhat of a chill kind of solo experience, like that is, they don't have to purchase those items in order to enjoy the game.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Any more questions?
Got one question in Twitch. Says, any updates on Beyond E25 or the next Civilization update? It's a good question. We're not addressing those during this live stream, but they're definitely in the works. If you're part of the beta, you will be able to see some of them. So I'd highly recommend joining our beta. But if you're not, you will probably just have to wait until we push them out into the game. So.
Yep. And then a question from let's see, Jamie. I haven't. How do you go higher than Master 10? I have 5 years playing and just Master 10, but there are 10 more levels impossible to reach.
That is a great question. So, because we have a kind of set endpoint to our game right now, it's a bit difficult to get to those farther ranks in the leaderboard. I think it's not the event leaderboard, just the main simulation, that leaderboard. So I wouldn't worry too. You can still grind on it. It's definitely going to take you a bit. And you will see it going up that bar to get to the next rank, but might be a little hard to get to the farther ones yet, unless we maybe add some more content into the main simulation.
Yeah.
Then those will be more obtainable. So you have to wait and see.
Yep. And then we have one more question before we end this part of the Q&A. It's actually events related, so it pertains to both of you. So there are a lot of events currently focused on the present and the past, which is awesome. So great. But will there be any sci-fi-esque post-singularity events?
Ooh,
It's a great question.
that's an
I,
awesome question.
A lot of good
what do you,
questions, guys.
I mean, I don't want to spoil too much of what's to come, but we will be addressing some new event ideas later in the stream. I do think it would be very cool to have events that deal with more futuristic ideas. I think people really gravitate towards that, and that's why that's why we're playing Cell to Singularity. You're trying to get the robots and the like, I don't know, AI is such a big part of it. Get some AI to really automate your simulation.
I mean, we have an
But
AI as a main character in the game,
true.
so
True.
So, but that's good. We'll definitely talk about it a bit later in the stream, but it's good to hear that people want that because we definitely want to know what events people want in the game.
yep, yep. Cool. All right. With that, let's move on. So speaking of events, we actually have an event coming up very soon. In fact, probably next week. So with that,
Mhm.
let's go into it. So next will be explore outbreaks, threat of
Yeah.
infection. So for all of our beta players, you've already seen this. It's been beta testing for a while now, for a few weeks, but finally it's coming out very soon. So, Andrew, do you want to talk about this? It is your main project right now, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so this has been one we've been working on for a little bit now. Like we took a little break and then we came back to it and yeah, we really wanted to make a bit of a spiritual successor to the human body event because once we made that human body event, we felt like, well, like there's a whole like opponent to the human body that we didn't even discuss at all really in that place. So here we got to talk about it in detail and it's not just about viruses. We got to talk about just generally the different uh, diseases that have occurred throughout history. Like, and so we follow that journey throughout time, and I'm really proud of where we ended up with it. I think it's looking really cool and it plays really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And then like, and then would you say that were there any challenges with this particular event? Or was it a smooth ride through the entire development process?
Oh, there are definitely some bumps. The bumps were mainly just trying to come up with like the tuning, honestly, because we had a very intricate idea. We started very bold. We wanted to have like a crazy idea for how the currencies would work against each other, and we achieved that feeling a little bit still, which is nice. I'm glad we ended up there, but it took a long journey to actually land in a place that it felt fun to play still, while also achieving that theme that we wanted. Yeah.
That
Okay,
was definitely
cool.
the biggest hurdle for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. And speaking about that, we're actually going to share a sneak peek about it. So, Sam, are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Cool, cool. All right, everyone. This is live to you from Sam's computer.
Yes. So yeah, this is the beginning of the event. We have a dual currency event here, which you'll see in a second. The player, uh, as players, you'll start off clicking for immunity, and then you will unlock this generator called human life. Uh, and then you purchase that. See this very cool background pop up. That might be a little delayed. And then you each time you purchase a generator in the event, every 5 generator purchases, 1 object will show up in the garden. So if you guys don't know what this is an antibody. So very important part in the role of the human's response towards pathogens and contagions, which you'll learn more later on in the event. So every purchase of the human life generator, you'll get one of those. And then over here, you'll actually see we actually added a new feature just for this event that will be in every other event going forwards, which is this arrow, if you look over here on the left side. So what this arrow will allow you to do is to see on the tree where your next node is purchased. Now, I don't know if all of you guys use this tree view. Me personally, when I played the game a lot, I would always just have the garden up and I'd have this side view up, so I never needed to worry about it. But people play in different ways, and we put a lot of effort into the tree view, so definitely give it a look at when you're playing the event, because when I was playing the game I never really looked at them and I didn't realize how much effort went into them, so make sure you're looking at those. But yeah, we added Saro, and over here it says tap to earn contagion, so we tap to earn immunity. Now we can tap to earn contagion in this section over here. And if you notice too, when I leave the section that I could buy the virus, the arrow turns blue, meaning I could purchase the node. So if you're ever like looking for your next node and you see the blue arrow, you know you can purchase that next node, which is kind of exciting. So I'm going to purchase this virus node. And then we get this awesome background done by our amazing artist, Olga. She does an amazing job on all the art on these events.
Amazing.
And then you'll see I got this little generator called smallpox, which it's a decently old an old virus. Do we still deal with smallpox anymore?
Smallpox specifically is a unique one because that's one of the few diseases that we've with modern technology have eradicated completely. So that's a positive, but it is one of the oldest ones, and it did start one of the first pandemics. So like one of the biggest outbreaks like that started from smallpox is what we believe. So
right.
Yeah, it was pretty significant, and now it's gone.
Well,
look, there it is right there.
Well, I don't know about gone. It's eradicated in most countries, but in small pockets, in different areas, especially impoverished ones, it is still kind of prevalent. And if and I know this might be a very controversial topic, but there are vaccines. It is the reason why it has been for the most part eradicated.
Yeah, very fair. Well, so yeah, I just unlocked smallpox, the generator, which inside of the tooltip kind of discusses what it is, how it's kind of gross and what it does. Oh yeah, I also didn't mention at the beginning of this, which I probably should have, but I don't think in this section of the game that I'm going to show there might be some graphic content, but as you play the event, there will be a little bit of, not like super graphic content, but kind of like medical depictions of what these viruses and bacteria could do to someone. So keep that in mind. We're also going to have a pop-up in the game that is that warning content at the beginning.
Yeah, we're going to have the warning prompt will be coming back, similar to how we implemented in the human body event.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, and then as you go through this event, you kind of learn about the different outbreaks that happened due to these outbreaks, the contagions that caused them. So I'm first going to unlock Antonine Plague, which I don't know if anyone in the chat has ever heard about. I think I had heard of the name, but I didn't really know much about it. It deals with like in Rome in 65 CE, soldiers would they bring it back to Rome?
Yeah, so they were going out to war in like 165 CE, and then when they returned back to Rome, they had caught this disease, and so the disease had existed already. It wasn't that it was invented at this point or it showed up for the first time. It was that this was the first time it was brought to a huge city like an empire like Rome, and then that's what spread it around so significantly.
Yeah. Right. So really interesting stuff. So yeah, and then we kind of keep that cadence throughout the event where you unlock the generator. I think we have the most generators we've ever had in any event in this one. I believe there's 14. Yeah, there's a lot of generators in this event. So that kind of means that you have to be a bit more strategic when you're playing this event too. So I think that'll be exciting for people to play with the event leaderboard, which you can actually see over here on the right side of my screen. And then as you go through, some of these nodes in the middle will unlock that kind of delve into what Andrew was talking about before, where you're upgrading human life with these things that we didn't get to talk about too much in the human body event, which is like the immune system. So here I'm going to unlock white blood cells, and that's going to give my human life a big boost. I got to upgrade my my generators here. Unlock my first mission. And then after we unlock the way in which the contagion spread and the outbreak that happened, we unlock a node that discusses how we kind of conquered and how we dealt with the outbreak and like what's a positive that came out of it, kind of like a scientific invention that humans created. So in this one, we talk about documentation. Andrew, while I am trying to get this last node, you want to talk about documentation a little bit?
Yeah, so this note is about the Greek physician Galen, who during the time period they couldn't find a cure for this disease at the time. Like, so really the best defense was just documenting what had happened and like making sure that future generations, if they did encounter this kind of disease or another disease, could react to it, like, and have something to reference. So basically, his notes, he was just like looking at what all of the people that he was treating were experiencing, and he was documenting it so that way future people could look back at his stuff.
The goat Galen, as
Yeah.
some called him. I'm sure they called him the goat.
Yeah, that's true. That was
Oh my
definitely a term at
gosh.
the time, and they called him that. Yes.
Well, okay,
And
cool. So
here's where it gets unique.
yeah, so this is a big, and also a new feature that we added for this event is once you get to the end of this, then we kind of have this section down here, which I need to get enough currency for, which might be a little tricky here.
Yeah, it might be a little tough.
It's at 200,000 immunity, so
Definitely
it's a
buy
little
more
bit of a
human
stopping
life
point.
there.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, we have people saying
oh,
use
wow.
an auto clicker.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I definitely am wishing I had an auto clicker right now instead of clicking my mouse and my keyboard so much. But yeah, at the bottom part here, we have this node which discusses the outbreak, and it's kind of like you conquered the outbreak node. So you can see how many people got infected, the infected death rate, and then as you go through the event, you unlock more and more of these like special triangle. I guess not triangle, diamond nodes. I call them triangle nodes all the time. They're diamond nodes. And you get to kind of see this timeline get filled up with all of these diamond nodes that you're unlocking, and it's a very cool feeling, I think.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this last node here. Should have had my 4x boost on. I'm like playing like a Cell To Singularity noob over here. Somebody's asking, are auto clickers allowed or does it count as cheating? I mean, it depends.
Maybe use a time flux.
Oh yeah, true. That is such a good point. What I will normally do, if I'm like, we do a lot of play tests internally, so to get the times at which it takes us to complete these events. So what I'll do is I'll normally set up an auto clicker that is as fast as I normally would click. I mean, I'm a pretty fast clicker with my keyboard.
Not to brag.
Not to brag or anything, but so I'll normally set it to that, and so I don't need to deal with like the cramping that kind of happens with your hands. But yeah, so this is what happened. So Outbreak survived Antonine Plague. You get a little pop-up here.
Yeah.
And for each pop-up that happens, for each node you unlock, the pop-up will show up again to show that you as humanity have sort of, not that you've defeated it, but you've kind of like gotten past it and gotten to the next stage of civilization.
Yeah.
So, and then just to show this off quickly, we're not just dealing with viruses, as this section shows off. We are also dealing with bacteria, which is shown over here. So I'll unlock this bacteria node, and then the next generator is the plague generator. Very exciting.
No.
So I don't want to spoil too much. You guys will have to see what that looks like in the garden when the event goes live next week on Friday. But yeah, I think that is the event, and there's a lot more to unlock and a lot more to see. So please play the event when it comes out next week on Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not only will it come out on Friday, we'll also be doing a Let's Play. So normally we do this in our Cell To Singularity official Discord. So if you're not a member yet, please join. Come play with us next Friday. And usually what we like to do when we're doing these let's plays is we try to see who can finish the fastest or how much can we
Yes.
complete in an hour. So you'll be playing with both Sam, Andrew, and Lunch, if he joins us, to see who can finish within the 1 hour time frame. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Speaking about events, we just talked about the Explore Outbreak event. So now another thing related to the events is the survey. So
Yes.
I don't know if many of you players remember, like around 2 to 3 weeks ago, we released a survey asking players to let us know what events for in our exploration events, which ones will come out next. So last year, we actually had a survey, specifically only on Discord, asking for player feedback and requests regarding surveys. And now we're back again a year after, but this time we actually put the call out in other places outside of Discord. So, Andrew, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so I'm very excited about this. So, yeah, so the last survey we had, we got around, I believe, 800 to 900 responses, which is a lot. But this one we put out in the in-game news feature, which we've been excited about ever since we put in the in-game news. We were like, this is where we got to put the survey. And as you can see here, we had over 13,000 responses,
I
and we're
know,
still getting them now.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
so exciting. And we were watching them come in like the day that we launched the survey, like and just like watching the numbers go up, see what event's gonna win. So this was a great opportunity to hear from our fans what they were interested in.
Yeah, yeah. And it's really cool. Like the in-game news was the best investment we've put into the game because it actually reached out to many people. And I hope we also released a post today for people to come watch the live stream. So I hope we're seeing a lot more people watching the stream as well. So
Yeah,
with that, based on the 13,000 responses, uh, this is the responses we have for biology and evolution.
yeah.
Very
Yeah,
exciting stuff.
and as you can see here, I didn't know people were asking about sci-fi, and as you can see, very popular choice here was aliens. That was something that people really wanted to hear us talk about, which we were surprised that that one really took away, with yeah, like with 8,000, like over
No,
8,000 votes.
that's a lot of votes there.
I
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
People
yeah.
people want to
we
see a
might have to
little like
touch on that.
flying saucer flying in their garden or something.
That'd be a good golden boost. Yeah.
I
I
mean,
know.
second one below it is animal technologies, which I think is a cool one. I know I was saying when it came out that that one's like the naming is a little tricky to understand what it is. The main idea behind it was like you'd see like a crow, it would use like a stick to maybe like fish out something from underneath a rock. Um, so the idea is that, but what I thought when people read it is they might think like, oh, like my dog has a cyborg eye or something.
Mhm.
So, but I don't. I mean, we might do stuff like that, but it would probably be more around like how animals are using technology to their benefits. I think recently there was like a monkey that like used it was like the first known record of it using like medicinal like herbs. It like chewed them in its mouth and then it like
Oh,
put it on a like a cut on its like face and everyone I was like, whoa, like that would have to be on in the event because it's like using that to like help it out. I don't know. That was pretty cool.
Yeah,
true.
yeah. Although I do wonder if people are also getting it confused to bioengineering. It is one of the top topics up there that's being voted. So I do
Yeah.
wonder if there's like a close relation between the two. Uh,
Yeah.
Very good point.
yeah. Another topic that people were excited about in earth science, physics, and astronomy was black holes. It's interesting considering we have the Beyond expansion.
Yeah, so the fact that this got the most votes out of anything in all of these sections. Yeah, with like over 9,000, which that was a meme one time. But that I think is I don't know, it's a good sign that people really want to hear us talk about that more, even outside of the space expansion. So we might have to do an event specifically about black holes. Who knows?
Who
Maybe we could tie it
knows?
to time, the fourth dimension,
I
which is up there
know.
with
I know
another
that's what
like
I was
over
saying.
9,000 votes. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have
Yeah.
to see. I mean, the Beyond deals with black holes a bit. I don't know if they go into it as in depth as maybe these players would probably want it to be brought into a little bit more. Also the events are a lot more front facing versus when you get to black holes and Beyond could be super far into it. So it's definitely something we'll consider. I mean, there's so many votes for it, 9,600. It's probably more at this point because I think we took these like a couple days ago. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely consider it. Well, another one I saw somebody in the chat talk about it is the periodic table, which has a decent amount of votes, not as much as quantum physics though. But I've been very fascinated about that one. I don't know how we would do that one. Maybe each node is like the like element in the table, and you could see the whole table on the tree. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
have to see. I think that one would be pretty exciting too.
Yeah, and I know a lot of players have been asking about the rock event, but yeah, it wasn't as popular as we thought it would be. I know a lot during the streams we get a lot of comments for geology or for rocks, but yeah, it seems like not everyone resonated with the chat.
It's true, yeah. But I mean, hey, I see Timmy Gang 9 in the Twitch chat really hyping up the rocks. So I mean, we see you, we acknowledge your love for the rocks.
Hashtag rocks for life.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Yeah.
We appreciate you. Yeah.
And then cool. And then the last topic that people voted for was humanities, history, and technology. And for this one, there seems to be a more even spread here.
Yeah, I think because this is such a broad section that I really think that like people could really pick whatever that they would want, and it kind of balanced out a bit. So yeah, we have a lot. The ones that really like took the lead by like an inch was history of weapons and history of mathematics, and those are two that we've actually heard a lot in the Discord. So it was nice to see that like that's a broader desire too, and it's not just our Discord community that like everyone wants these things. So those are things that we're definitely looking at. Because yeah, I guess a lot of people want to see how these weapons have been developed over the years.
I think that event would be so cool. History of weapons. I mean, like to see how you get from like a slingshot to like a bow and arrow to I don't know, like the earliest like type of pistol. Like you can even deal with like swords. Like I think it would be so cool.
Sure.
That's like probably my #1 event.
Yeah,
that we have up here.
It does
it would be
tie
awesome.
very closely to the history of war. Like I know
Yes.
a lot of players have requested some things in that vein, so there's that. Another one is video games.
Yeah,
Yes.
that one's an interesting one. You want to take it away, Andrew?
Yeah, so we've talked about this idea a lot because a lot of people want it, like, and it's not a bad idea. We've just been wondering how we would approach it, like, and one thing we've been considering lately, I think someone in this survey suggested the idea was to have an event on games in general, like, and then video games would be towards like the end of that, like where we could talk about just the earliest forms of games people have played, not just on computers, but like way before then, and then that could like tie into sports maybe. So like, there's a lot of opportunities there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a history of games class in college, so we
you're
could
an
use some of that
expert.
knowledge. Oh yeah, I'm a total expert. I know what I'm talking about.
We're
Totally
all
didn't slip my
experts.
brain. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, with that, it's time to reveal our next Darwinium code. Can people guess what this code is?
It's a great question.
It's kind of like in the similar vein to the last one, I would say, just relating to what we're talking about now.
Yeah. Can people guess what it is? Oh, rock rules.
Rocks rules.
Rocks
Wow,
rules.
someone's really
it's about
close there.
rocks. That'd be funny if we changed them to be like what the main topic of what we're talking about is during the live stream.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the rocks, viruses.
Yeah,
It has to do with the surveys that we're talking about now.
Cool. All right, with that big of a hint, we might as well reveal it.
It's
The
true.
code is surveys are cool.
There you go.
Yay! Gecko
Yeah,
caretaker.
Cassia 1213 was
Cassia
very
was
close.
super close.
Yeah.
You got a participation trophy with that guess right there.
Yes. So if you redeem the code right now, you'll get 15 Darwinium cubes. There might be an influx of people trying to reach the server, so you may need to redeem it a later time, but it is working. I personally have tested it, so yes, it is working. Cool. With that, we can go into another Q&A session. So any questions from anyone? It could be events related, or it could be about the survey. We're here to welcome any of those questions.
We got a couple questions when we were discussing the survey. Let me see here. Somebody said, can an event based on computing devices? That'd be a cool idea. Somebody recently recommended we should do like a phone event because one of our coworkers has a friend who works at a museum and they're doing a whole thing on cell phones. So it's like where they got the material, how far they've come. I think that would be pretty funny, like playing an idle game on how phones were created. But I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. A question we have from Toast the Post. Uh, has the next event after viruses already been decided? The answer is yes, actually. If you looked at our recent roadmap post, we actually posted some hints of what the next events would be. So take a look at that if you haven't already.
You have to wait and see.
I know, you
Yeah.
gotta wait and see. Pretty
See,
exciting.
Yeah, a big part of the survey was to make sure we could have things in advance like that, like to plan far ahead. So we've got some things cooking for the next few events, which is nice.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
cooking, all right.
Cool.
Let's see.
Alright.
We might have, let's see, let me see if there's a Geometry Dasher with another question. Will the Outbreak event be updated because it's coming back? Coming back on beta soon. So that's a great question. So it's going to be in its final state in beta, so you guys can get some more of those badges, and then it's going to be live on Friday. So no more changes to the event after this weekend. That's its final form. That is exactly what it will look like during the Friday play of the game, in the main game.
On YouTube, we have a question. This is actually a really good idea, so maybe we should think about it. From Art Valley, can there be a reward system for people who find glitches, especially game-affecting ones?
This
I
is
just
a
saw that too,
great question.
We did the bug bounty.
Yeah, so in our beta chat, we did it once, and we should do it more. It's hard because we need some pretty decent bugs to be known in the beta that we're putting out to do it. But we did do, I think, if somebody found a bug that we had known was going into the build, because we didn't have enough time to get it out, and it wasn't that like player facing. Normally they're more visual bugs. We gave them some cubes as a reward. So if you're really itching to have that kind of player to community like experience, join our beta. But it's also a great idea. We could probably do it in production as well. You'd have to join our Discord, so you could submit it. So first and foremost, join the Discord and be a part of that community. And if we add it to the production builds, I mean, you can get some cubes. So it's a good idea.
Yeah. Although I do wonder if we should also tailor it to bugs we don't know, right? So like
True.
Especially game-breaking ones. Like if we don't know that it's there, could we give a really good prize for those ones?
Yeah, that's fair. Find this gigantic game-breaking bug at 100 Darwinium.
Yeah. A question from YouTube by Colin Not Dev. In the last Dev Diary, we mentioned a co-op feature for events. Any update on that?
That is such a great question. Glad people are reading the Dev Diaries.
I know, right? Good to
Colin
know.
Not Dev, I think we can trust you to be reading those Dev Diaries. So keep up the great work. So that's a good question. We've done a lot of thinking towards that feature. We haven't been developing it too much because we've been very focused on the event leaderboards. But once we are done with that, we will definitely be looking into the collaborative experience in events. So get excited for that.
Yep. We can do one more question before we move on. Let's see. Let's have one from Twitch this time.
I'll let you choose it, Emily. You're the question acceptor.
Sure. Let's see. Let's do one from Carholic. How about an event on the development of human language?
Yeah. That's on our survey too. We got a good amount of votes, so it's definitely something we're thinking about. I have a friend that like really is an expert on linguists, history, and all that. In languages, so I definitely would want to. I've heard so much about it from him that I've kind of started to adopt some of this knowledge. Where I think it'd be cool to put in an event and like really start digging in. So yeah, it could be a cool event. I wouldn't be against it at all. That'd be cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that event would be awesome. We definitely try to include like everyone in our events. We wouldn't want it to be like Western focused. So to have a language event where we could really include everyone. I mean, we can't include every language. That would be kind of impossible, but a lot of them. So I think it would be cool.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. All right. So with that, let's go into the next segment. So speaking about features, so earlier we talked about the leaderboard, in the new event leaderboard. Another thing that we also added is the Infinity Pass. So earlier there was a question about a monetization. So this is one of the new additions we actually added. It's in the Cash App store. It is currently at the bottom at the moment. So if you scroll all the way at the bottom, you'll find it. It's called the Infinity Pass, and right now it is like a 30-day kind of a period for redeeming this. This pass will allow you to skip all of the ads. All two Darwinium Cube purchases are free with an active pass. It includes all boosts, double idle income, red dwarfs, stone geodes, mystery traits, all quantum charges, nanobot recharges, and comets. And right now, with the release of this feature, we are running a promotion where when you purchase this, you'll get an additional 300 Darwinium cubes. And so this is one of the new things we've added. It will be a little bit more front facing for players in the next update, but right now this is currently in the store in the production build.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm curious. Have any players purchased it yet? Do you like it? We're definitely open for feedback and to see if players like it or if we need to improve on it. So definitely something to chat about. So right now, you can only purchase this in the store. Uh, in
I like
Scarlet
reading all the
Flash.
the chats. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
reading that.
yeah.
I did. It's amazing.
I know,
That's good to
great.
hear.
I'm glad. I'm
Nice.
glad. Cool. So I know I mentioned that you can, right now it can only be purchased in the store, but actually there is another method to earn this,
Yes.
and with that we will segue into our next contest. So if you've been
Let's
reading
go.
our dev diary, we did mention that we want to hold more contests, and so we've decided to do a bi-monthly kind of schedule, and we are around that time right now. So our next contest is going to be the main simulation 3 contest. So with this, players will be designing their own branch on the main tree. So it could be based on existing nodes and generators on the tree, or it could be something new, but it has to be tied to the main tree. So if you are planning to make any tree designs that are based on the Beyond, Event, or Mesozoic Valley, we will not be accepting those at the moment. They have to be tailored to the main tree. Cool. So yay! I hope a lot of players participate in this one. We had a large showing for the art contest 2 months ago, so we definitely are very eager to see a lot of the creative tree designs that players will be making. So with that, let's go into the rules. And so the for this, as I mentioned earlier, it has to be based on the main tree. Pick a spot on it and expand. We will have to ask, no previously posted fan arts will be accepted. We'd like new ones to be brought to the table. We will only accept one entry per contestant, and all entries past the deadline will also not be accepted. And then just a note for players to also to know is that we will not be using any of your fan art or entries for this contest for in-game content. So that's a caveat to this. And cool. So how will players enter this contest? So right now, so it'll be very similar to the art contest. We will have a Discord channel called Tree Contest, so you can post your entries there. You can also post your entries on Reddit. Just use the hashtag contest or tag on there. And you can also email us at sharestory@computerlunch.com. And make sure to title it Main Tree Contest so that we're able to discern your entry versus all of the other emails we receive. So,
Mhm.
yay! Really excited.
Yes.
Um, and speaking about the Infinity Pass, we are actually offering it as a prize. So these prizes are much more beefier than the last. So, for first place, you get 2,000 Darwinium cubes, and you'll also get 90 days, so 3 months worth of the Infinity Pass. The second place, you get 1,000 Darwinium, and it'll be a 60-day Infinity Pass. And third place will be 500 Darwinium cubes, and it's a 30-day Infinity Pass. We do also, yeah, I know it's a lot, right? Yeah, we're being very, very generous. It's great. So yeah, so we do have another category. It's a special one. It is also it's called the Discord Mod Fave category. So this one will be chosen by our amazing Discord mods. So players have other ways to win prizes. So keep a lookout for that as well. Yeah, I can see some people they're drooling for the 2,000 Darwinium cubes.
Yes.
Yeah, we got some like questions along the lines. Seems like some people don't know how they should do this. So I guess the best way, you could use some programs online to like make some squares and put some names on them and maybe some images above them. Or you could draw it. I mean, I think it's however you guys want to make the extensions of the trees on your own.
Yeah. You could use as simple as like Google Docs or Google Presentation, just make a bunch of shapes and write text on it and then in lines. So it could be as simple as that.
Use
Cool.
Miro.
Yeah, it could
True.
use Miro. Yes, cool. So with that, let's talk about the date. So it is going to be live on May 13th at 12 a.m. Eastern, and it will end on May 31st at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So on Monday, we are going to be releasing an in-game news to announce this contest, and that's when entries will be open for everyone. So really cool. I hope players are really excited. Yeah,
I'll have to make my own tree.
I know. And for those who have missed the news about the Infinity Pass, it is inside the game right now. If you go into if you press the Darwinium cube icon, you'll actually see the cash shop store. If you scroll all the way at the bottom, that's where you'll find the Infinity Pass. There is an icon there that you can tap, and you can read all of the information on there, as well as how you will get your promotional cubes. I also want to state that it is not a subscription item. So as soon as you buy it, it will be active for the next 30 days, and then when it expires, it will no longer be available. And if you want to purchase it again, you will have to go to the store again in order to reactivate the pass's benefits. So yeah. So I hope players enjoy it. Please enter the contest. It'll be really fun to see all of the cool new art that people produce. It is also not dependent on your ability to produce art. So we're mainly looking for creativity and how well you design your tree, and the creativity of your writing. More specifics and description regarding the contest will be available on a Reddit post on Monday, so keep a lookout for that. Cool. And with that, we are at the end of our stream. So again, thank you everyone for joining us for this stream. There were a little bit of a hiccups trying to get the captions to work, and it seems to be working very well on YouTube. So I think we're gonna keep that, and then keep the sound system to what it was or currently is right now, and so that way we don't have any of the echoing or any of the audio problems. So yeah, in the future, for all of our Twitch users, if you want to enjoy a bug-free caption system, definitely go on YouTube. So yeah, definitely. Cool. And then we actually have 2 more minutes left. So any last thoughts, Sam, Andrew, you want to share, or any questions you want to answer?
I I don't
go
know.
look at the chat now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. I mean, I just want to say thank everyone for taking time out of their day to be here on this live stream with us. Happy you guys are so passionate about the game to sit through a live stream.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever, I mean, I'm very passionate about this game. I don't know if I've ever been that passionate about any other game like you guys are about Cells, and I think that's really awesome. I'm really happy you guys are such great fans, and we want to do as much as we can for you guys. So we're always trying to push out content, do contests for you guys. So if you guys keep up the great work as fans, we'll try to keep up the great work as content creators.
That's beautiful, Sam. I think it's true. Like, 'cause it made me, I don't know, it makes me think like, yeah, like I've been working here for just a little bit now, but like the events I've worked on, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback on, and I felt very welcomed by the community. So it's very nice to be here on a live stream with everybody, and yeah, just thank you all for playing. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone. As always, we are in Discord, so if you would like to chat with us or join our community, beta community, we are on there. We're also on our various socials on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit. And there's also Steam community, so feel free to shoot us any questions or give us any feedback. We're always here, we're always listening. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.